Hannah. Today I'm going to be shooting my About Me vlog, a more in-depth about me, because I kind of told you a little bit in my first video, but that was more of an introduction rather than actually like letting you guys get to know who I am. I actually wrote down what I wanted to talk about. I kind of went a little overboard. I wrote a bunch. It's probably gonna be a bit shorter than that. I hope you like it. So for those of you who don't know me, this is my channel. My name's Hannah. I talk about pretty much anything and everything, art, opinions, music, whatever, anything that comes to my mind, because I think it brings a lot of content to the channel. And it's for everyone. Everyone has different things they like. So I'm 21, I live in Chicago. My hobbies are listening to music, writing, making art from, like graphic design or painting. I model and act. I collect cool objects like rocks and different minerals, and I grow crystals, and I have tarot cards and incense burners, just a bunch of stuff. I like plants. And I'm super new at this YouTube thing, but I'm finding it very interesting. It's a little hard to talk to a camera and pretend that you're talking to someone else, but I'm getting used to it. I live with my boyfriend John. We've been together for about 2.5 years now. I sometimes say 3 just because it feels way longer. And in August, we are moving to California, which is a super big move, but I've been moving around a lot since I was little, so it's kind of a natural thing for me. It's so hot in here. It's like 100 degrees outside and I'm wearing a sweater in here. I hope you guys like my Cattern shirt. John actually works in the film industry, and a little fun fact, I used to as well. He recently put out a new video on his channel, and that was like the last thing I actually did. I edited it for him, so check it out maybe. And now I edit these, which are quite fun because they're not as serious as actual short films. Okay, so I was born in Tennessee. I grew up there until I was about 9. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and when I say the middle of nowhere, it was like a 12-acre field. We had a barn, a pond, we had a pasture that would bloom daisies and daffodils and stuff like every spring. We had neighbors that had horses and cows, the whole 9 yards. We were pretty much country folk. I have 2 other siblings. They're both younger than me. My sister is in college at Baylor. The youngest is my younger brother. He's in high school right now. I honestly believe that I gave my parents a false hope when raising kids because I was boring. And because of that, I think my parents have gone crazy now because my brother and sister are the complete opposite. A tester child is usually child number 1, and there was not much to test with me. So I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad. And I'm not saying I was like completely perfect. I of course had the lips of, bad behavior or something that I did wrong. I was not a halo above my head or whatever. I had certain things that I was like stressed about, and stress causes kids to do crazy things when they're younger. And of course, I did a lot of embarrassing stuff too. I was an embarrassing child. Around the same time that we were moving, my parents got a divorce, which I don't really hold against them like at all because, it happens. I don't care anymore. As a kid, I definitely cared, but it's a different story when you're 9 versus 21. After that, we were moving, and we moved to Louisiana because my mom got a job offer there. Finally getting to the place was a completely different experience because 1, the community was gated. You had to push in a number and the gate opened, and everybody lived like 5 feet apart in like houses that looked exactly the same. And we drove up, and it was just like a completely different experience for me because all of a sudden, if you looked out the bathroom window, you could probably see your neighbor watering their plants in the garden, and you it almost feels like an invasion of privacy. As I was so young, I didn't think about that as much because there was an underground pool. There was a pool and we didn't care about anything. Us kids were totally, completely happy. And I lived there until college. Louisiana was pretty much the portion of my life trying to figure out who I was going to be, what kind of schooling I wanted to do, making more friends because in Tennessee we didn't have that many people to really congregate around. You couldn't ride your bicycle to your friend's house. You had to call them, you had to wait for their parents to come drop them off, and then you either had like a sleepover or you hung out for a couple hours around a bonfire and you left. And I was not that kind of person that would go out and make friends super easy. I was very shy. It was probably like the hardest part in my life was to go into a public school, which was literally a 5-minute bus ride away, and there's hundreds of kids that live in your neighborhood and I don't know how to talk to them. It was the portion of my life where I did do a lot of embarrassing things just because I didn't know how to interact with people, or the people that I did interact with were also like super awkward. So I would just do things that would be considered okay. Just trying to figure out how to interact with others is so hard when you don't have any like previous experience. And through the years that kind of leveled off, I ended up having a very small group of friends that I love to be around. I kind of called them family. We would go and hang out like every week together. Got in a lot of trouble with them. Curfew was super strict with my mom. For just me. For my siblings, it's not very strict at all. And I was always at the comic book shop on Fridays, and then I was on the highway to our neighborhood, and that was pretty much where I was. And I still do have like an athletic bone in my body. I played softball, and I kind of got like super into it when I moved to Louisiana and made really good friends. One of which I've been friends with for about 12 years, I think, 12 years. And I plan to be friends with her until we're grandmas. I really hope we're friends till we're grandmas. Oh yeah, and I had a lot of different phases. Like I said, I was an awkward kid. So of course I had to first become emo, which meant listening to Sum 41, My Chemical Romance, Falling in Reverse, All Time Low. I had band tees. I wore giant black sweaters that I would like put the hood up, and I would wear baggy jeans and DC shoes, and my hair was crazy. It was really long. The first color I ever dyed it was like maroon red. I had like black streaks in it. And when I was kind of through with the emo phase, I made some friends that were into anime in high school, and I became a total weeb, and I even did cosplay. Once I was out of that, I kind of got into making more art. I started drawing a lot. I did ink drawings, I had done stuff for my friends in class. One summer, the summer before I started high school, my mom showed me this school called NOCA, New Orleans Center of Creative Arts, and it was across the lake. And she said, you should try out for this, you can do an audition. And I was like, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to do art forever. And I was still like doing softball. So I decided to go for it. My mom convinced me after like a couple days of, showing me stuff that I had done and showing me the website and what people did at the school. And I was really excited for it. So I put together an audition of art that I've done, and I decided on media arts instead of visual arts. I did find out my passion, which was filmmaking and making art and designing things. And it was so exciting for me because I thought I could do this for the rest of my life. You really can. With media arts, you can go any direction you want. Graphic design, film, sound, music producing, everything that you could ever want, you can get through media arts. And NOCA has so much stuff for kids. They want you to succeed, and I feel like they did their job. People at NOCA versus the people at school were totally opposite. The people at school were very shut in. They didn't talk very much about what they wanted or what they desired or anything. They would just talk about classes or what people they had a crush on or what metal band they were headbanging to. At NOCA, there were weird kids. There were weird kids like me who didn't really know how to go out and talk to other people, and they used their art to communicate instead. They made films about the things that they wanted to. They wrote scripts about the crazy experiences they had. They, put everything, all their emotions into their work. And that's exactly the kind of people that I wanted to be around, and that's exactly the type of person that I wanted to be. NOCA taught me what I wanted to do with my life and, you know, what direction I wanted to go in. In that way, that's exactly what I did for 4 years. And I've made so many friends through there that I still talk to, and, you know, we have done great things and gone places. And that's why I'm just so thankful for Noka for helping me like find out exactly what I wanted to do. And from that, I figured out that I wanted to go to college for about the same thing.